Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. This is a 2015 Toyota Tacoma, and we're going to do a transmission fluid change on this vehicle. Tools you're going to need is, for one, you need a Allen that is 5 millimeters. You're going to need a 24 millimeter socket, preferably shallow. I like 3/8. I don't have a 24 and a 3/8, but I do have a 15/16. That worked perfectly fine. And you need a 14 millimeter. If I find my light, we'll continue with the video here. All right, there's my light. All right, make sure you can see. Okay, yeah, you see the whole thing, okay? Actually, let me go up here a little bit further to start with. Right up here. Let me get my hands out of the way. Right up here, on this side, right here. That's the fill for the transmission. Move the camera just a little bit. This fella right here, that's a 14 millimeter drain plug. This is the adjuster. That right there has a tube on the inside, and that's how we're going to adjust transmission fluid level. Now, although it is not recommended, or well, at least so I hear, on these transmissions here that drop the pan, I am going to go ahead and drop the pan on this one. These are relatively easy to do. And what I got for us here today is a Wix. This is a screen, a pickup screen. It's not really a filter. It's just a pickup screen. It's a 5/8 136. In case you're wondering, that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to replace that. So without further ado, let's get started. What I'm going to do on this is, for one, I'm going to save the oil that's coming out of it because I really want to know what comes out of it. Service information a little bit iffy there. I don't know that I'm buying it. I may be wrong, but anyway, we'll see. Get the camera at a good angle over here, hopefully, where you can follow along, get some light. And if we get lucky, it'll help somebody. Start by removing the fill plug up here. Heat index is about 100 degrees outside, so it's going to be a little bit more difficult to do this job today because it's so hot, and you'll understand here in a little bit why I said that. This has got an O-ring seal. If the O-ring isn't good, there's no real reason to replace it, but if it makes you feel good, by all means do replace it. So here's what that looks like. Like I said, it does have an O-ring seal. Inspect it. If the O-ring is good, you don't have to replace it. If it makes you feel better, by all means. Drain plug, loosen it up for the moment. And I guess we can loosen this as well. Make sure that you're in there pretty good. Like I said, I am aiming to save this fluid in a bowl. This is not my drain. I got a bowl in the drain right here, my oil drain. I think Toyota is talking about 1.7 liters. I'm not for sure about that. Doesn't smell bad. That's good. This is not a high mileage truck. And FYI, I don't never recommend to change transmission fluid if the services have never been done on it and they have high mileage. They're going to fail. It's almost Murphy's Law. So take it or leave it. If a vehicle has been maintained properly, it shouldn't be a problem. I think the camera might be able to pick that up. It's not too dirty or anything like that. There is a transmission fluid temperature range that we're gonna have to be within. That's why I made that comment earlier. And that being said, I will also show you what service information is talking about doing for you to get the temperature just right. Seal looks pretty clean on this plug here as well, and I'll show you here in a minute what that looks like. I can tell you now, my recommendation is going to be to replace that seal, just because I don't want to tell anybody, well, you don't have to replace it, and then something leaks and people are going to get mad at me because I didn't tell them to replace the seal. Definitely don't want that to happen, so go ahead and replace your seal. At this point in time, I'm only dripping, of course. Had to empty the fluid out of my extractor here. Go ahead and put my plug back in. Now, service information is talking about 1.7 quarts. I extracted right at 3 quarts. That's the reason I went ahead and just emptied my pan into my Mighty Vac over here. That lets me know how many quarts I pulled out of it, and it's right at the 3 quart mark. So the 1.7 that they're claiming about is not correct. I've seen that before, so no big surprise. 10 millimeter on your pan. You can't mess that up. I'm gonna pause the camera up. Okay, so as I suspected, there was a little bit more fluid in that pan. We're edging onto the 4 quart mark. By the time it's all said and done, right there's your filter. Moving on, that's a 10 millimeter as well. All right, the final count here is 4.5 quarts. So if you're going to do this work, 4.5 quarts. 10 mil, I'm going to remove that filter. Well, I guess I shouldn't have called that a filter. That's incorrect. It's actually just a screen. So as for the, I almost said filter again. As for this pickup screen right here, there is a fine screen in here. I don't think for a second the camera can pick that up. It's a really fine mesh screen in there. The other one, like I said, I don't think the camera can pick it up. But anyway, it does have debris on it. That's the reason I wanted to change it. We can try it, I suppose, but I don't think that. I just don't think we're going to have any luck for the camera to actually pick it up. As a matter of fact, I can't even see if the camera can see it or not. I think you can actually see it. There is debris in there, and that is the reason why I wanted to change it. All right, moving on. I'm going to pause the camera up. I'll have it nice and dry. These seals here, they're very accurate. This is a Wix filter. That's what I recommend. Not a sponsor, but I'm recommending them anyway. This fits extremely well, so. Now, I stick some bolts in this pan gasket. And then carefully put it up there. Matter of fact, I don't even know why we couldn't start all of them. They hold it in there real nice. Just make sure you don't turn it up too far, or you'll lose some of them. They'll fall out. Make sure your mating surface, the transmission itself. Sorry, I guess my body was in the way. I'm going to finish putting them on. Make sure your mating surface is clean. Now I'm not going to use a impact like I did a while ago. I will use the ratchet. I'm going to use a power ratchet, yes, but not the impact. That's my point. Oh, sorry. Like I said, this is a rubber gasket. Now we cannot torque the crap out of it. Those should go without saying. So, got to be careful torquing them up. I will post the torque spec. I'm going to go ahead and pause camera back up, finish this up. We got that all torqued up. Put that drain plug back in. We'll go ahead and lightly tighten this. Probably by hand is going to be good. Now, I'm going to venture a guess that most of you are probably not going to have something specific to fill. I do here, so use your imagination as to how to get transmission fluid in there. Alright, those of you who watch my channel, you know that I've got a pressurized filling system, basically. So, let me grab the oil. Just to show you, I went to the dealer and picked these up earlier. That's ATF, WS, world standard fluid, so that's what's going to go in it. Well, let me go ahead and fill this tank up and we'll put it in. Okay. So straight away I put 5 quarts in there. Battery is going down. I gotta kind of speed this thing up a little bit. Like I said, once again, straight away I put 5 quarts in there. I'm not going to play around with it. I took 5 quarts out of it. 5 quarts going to go in right away. We'll open that filler plug here. We'll open that later on, and whatever comes out comes out. Ain't going to hurt nothing. Remember, we are going to go to the gears, so we're going to circulate fluid. Not going to hurt anything to put more through the system. Okay, so at this point in time, we have to lower, obviously lower the vehicle. Start it up, run it through the gears. You've got to run it in every gear for 6 seconds, according to the Toyota service information. Now, you guys may not have, I started that wrong. You guys may not have a scan tool where you can pull up data for transmission temperature. So here is what Toyota says you can do. Now I'm going to do this a little bit different because I so happen to have this. But basically you go to your OBD2 port, which is going to look obviously like this. Find your pin 4 and 13. Information is readily available on Google. This is just a lead and short them. Short those two together with like a pin or something like that. I would advise you be very careful not to spread any of the terminals. That could bite you later. Be very careful shoving anything in that hole right there or in those holes that can spread it. So be advised, be careful. So I'm using this right here. Like I said, I have it, so I'm using this. So here's what that looks like. We have a bunch of lights flashing at us. I'm assuming that's going to be good. I normally would not have done that, but why not? Let's see what's actually in the dash when we turn it off. Okay, so over here on the corner, when I just turn the key back on, what it amounts to is there is a automatic transmission fluid light that is right there in the corner. It's red, and once the transmission fluid has reached proper operating temperature, or at least the range that they want to check it in, that light should come on. Now I did put the exhaust hose on it. I hope we don't have to wait too long. I figured it would being as hot as it is, it probably don't take that long. Like I said, we're going to shift it through some gears. Leave it in gear there for a little bit. Right there. Moving on, neutral. Gear number 4. 3. Of course, I'm on a lift. I'm still elevated. I can go ahead and let it wheel spin a little bit if I want to. And I go to 2, low, you get the picture. So basically this is a little bit of a waiting game now. I'm gonna sit here and enjoy that. Oh, all of your loads need to be turned off. Almost forgot that. Like turn your air conditioner and all that good stuff off. I'm gonna pause you up. Okay, so now one thing we have to do, now we had it idling for a little bit. I let it pre-warm a little bit. I shifted it through the gears. Now I need to go from neutral to drive, like pretty fast, switch back and forth, at least 6 seconds of it. That will activate our temperature light. And there it is, ladies and gentlemen. Okay, that's not warm enough yet. It should be on solid and not flashing. So I like the solid now. I had to cheat a little bit. I had to check again. I was actually wrong. It actually was a little bit too warm. So I had to cool it back down, which I had a fan on it for just a minute, and that cooled it right back down. Got a solid light now. Come on. This would be the part where I'm going to go ahead and we want to see a drip, not it poured out. Now I already know that it has a little bit too much in it. Actually, I'm going to go ahead and get the pan. I know what I put in it. I know I got too much in it, or a little bit too much. So that should, yeah, that's what I like to see right there. That's about the amount that I overfilled. So we'll get that out of there. And once that comes to a drip, that's actually it. I mean, I don't have a lot in the bucket. I know it looked like a lot. It's not. I was about a half a quart more that I put in here than what was supposed to have been in it. We are now dripping, or getting to a drip. I don't know if I need to yell or not, but I'm right there next to the camera. But anyway, we are coming to a drip, like I said. So this is about good. I'm going to call this one here. It's not exactly rocket science, but you want it really close, as close as you can get it. And this is actually, like I said, this is actually really, really close to what we actually took out. We'll torque this back up. That should be good to go now. One more time. I'll show you this. Well, you don't have a nervous breakdown on me there. Well, this is what's in there in the bucket. Some of it went in here. We already know that. So that was definitely no more than half a quart. So we're close. We're good. That should be done. Should be good to go. So I didn't see anything in service data that said otherwise. Remove your pin, or in my case it was a cable, but anyway, go ahead and remove that. Cycle your ignition key. I cycled mine a couple of times. There is no more lights flashing or anything like that. No check engine light on or anything like that. So apparently that is a way of doing it. So anyhow, appreciate everybody. Like, subscribe, leave me some comments in the comment box. You know, open to suggestions. So we'll catch you on the next adventure.